Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another 10 pens currently inked this week. I think let's go through these briefly one by one. We'll go through them in a little bit more detail and then we'll do a writing sample. So from left to right we have a TWSBI Vac 700R in the Iris. We have a Santini Libra in the Ambra. We have a Visconti Wallstreet in the Red. We have a Visconti Chatterley City. We have a Visconti Chatterley Southwest. We have a Sailor King of Pen Pro Gear in the Lucky Charm. A Sailor King of Pen Stormy Seas. We have a Taccia Myabi Winter's Breath. We have a Urushi Studios India Xiphos R. And we have a Pilot Custom Urushi in the Vermilion. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up in a little bit more detail. So this is the TWSBI Vac 700R. It's the Iris model. So it's this sort of flamed like torched approach going on here. So it's a little bit of a rainbow style effect going on. This is inked up with a reddish orange ink. It does have a steel nib, but you can see there the nib itself looks quite nice there in that sort of flame approach. So this is quite a beautiful pen, and I did unfortunately buy 5 of these. So I have had, I think for the last 3 weeks now, I've had TWSBI Vac 700R irises inked up, but with different colours. So these are different pens, not exactly the same pen. So I have that one inked up with me this week. I have the Santini Libra in the Ambra, and this is a beautiful Conway Stewart cracked ice effect going on here. You used to see this in some of the older Conway Stewart pens. It's a resin material, but it's really beautiful. It's really quite stunning. You can see that cracked ice effect. Now this, if I unscrew, it's a piston filling pen. It has an in-house Santini nib. It's an 18 karat gold nib. This is a flexi nib, so has a little bit more flex, a little bit more bounce to it than the regular in-house 18 karat gold nib. But for me, that it's a beautiful writing nib. It's a medium nib, and I have that one inked up this week as well. I also have this one, and this was a little bit of a bittersweet buy. I like the stacked celluloid, and I decided, hey, I could see a Wallstreet online in the red, and I bought it. And I completely missed the point that I know that there's the limited edition, which has a celluloid colored section, which is a power vac, and then there's the non-limited edition, which is a cartridge converter with a metal section. And I knew that, but I didn't realize that this was a smaller model. It's a thinner, it's a shorter pen than the original Wallstreet. And I can actually show you. I can show you the difference here. And this is what I mean by it, is that it is quite smaller. So I kind of thought I was buying the bigger pen, and I wasn't. The description wasn't mislabeled, but I liked the celluloid anyway, so I decided to keep it. I wasn't going to send it back, but I was kind of hoping for the larger oversized version. I hadn't realised that Visconti made it a smaller pen. But I still like this pen a lot, and I like it not only because of this red celluloid, but I like it because it has a double broad nib on it. And this is a 23 karat palladium double broad nib. And I only had one of these, and now I have 2. So I like that a lot. It's a cartridge converter, which I knew, but I was just hoping it was going to be a larger version. It was going to be an oversized, but unfortunately it's not. But this writes very, very well. So I have that one inked up this week as well. So we'll see a writing sample of that. I also have the Visconti Chatterley, and this is the City. So this is in, again, the same stacked celluloid, but in grey. Sometimes it's called Pearl, sometimes it's called Platinum, depending on who you look at. This is a limited edition of 28 pens. This is an oversized pen. So when you compare it to the size of the Wallstreet in the non-limited edition, you can see there that it is a lot larger here than the Wallstreet. This has one of the newer style 18 karat gold nibs there. It's a medium nib. I love these pens. There's just nothing that I dislike about them. I like the size, I like the weight, I like it as a hook safe lock mechanism. I just love everything about these pens. They really do feel good in the sides of my hand. So for me, they are really good pens. The next pen I have inked up is the Visconti Chatterley, and this is the Southwest. So this is in that red blue celluloid that the Speakeasy came in, and also the St. Basil as well. So this is a beautiful, beautiful celluloid, and again, you'll see there 20 of 28. It's beautiful pen. Again, I like the size, the weight. I like that it's got the hook safe lock mechanism. I like it's a power vac filler. I like it's got the newer 18 karat gold style nibs on there, which is a medium nib. It writes super wet for me, and I just love it. So for me, again, these are the Visconti Homo sapiens pens, which are the same shape and size almost. They are the ideal size pen for me, I find. The next pen inked up is the Sailor, and this is a King pen, and this is the Lucky Charm in the Pro Gear. Pro Gear is a flat top. You've got the Sailor logo there, and it's a see-through here, and you can see that this is sort of semi-translucent there, and it has a 21 karat gold nib there, you can see, and this is a medium nib. So being an Asian nib, this actually turns out to be more of a Western fine nib, but I like it. I like the number 8 size nib. There's a little bit of condensation going on there because obviously this is inked up. Now that is in the inner cap here that you can see. I do need to find a way of actually unscrewing that somehow. I haven't actually worked out a way. If anybody knows how to get the inner caps out of the Sailors, don't say you just use a pencil with an elastic band on it, because that doesn't work. These are spring-loaded inner caps. But if you have got them out before, let me know, because I would be interested in doing that. The next pen here is again another Sailor, and this is the King pen, and it's a Stormy Seas, and it's another. Both of these are the US exclusives, and I love this a lot. This pen, it's like a metallic blue or pearlescent blue. You can see a little bit of water there, or inky residue on that nib. Just wipe that off. It's a 21 karat gold nib there, and it's a medium nib. So again, a little bit more like a Western fine nib. Again, it's a cartridge converter, but it fits in my hand really nicely. I like the size, the length, the width, the girth. I just like everything about these Sailor pens. So for me, that's another pen that I have inked up that I really do like writing with. And then another one here I have inked up is that lovely Taccia. This is the Myabi, and it's a Winter's Breath. And this is made of, it's a Maquis Rawdon, so it's got quail's eggs crushed onto the body, and you also have the Rawdon abalone strips there as well. And this is just a stunning, stunning pen. So this was my birthday present in February this year. This has a Sailor nib, so Sailor make the nibs for Taccia, and it's a 18 karat gold nib. It's a number 6 size nib. It's a medium, actually no, it's a broad nib, this one. So there you go, broad. So it's actually like a Western medium. I do wish that they had put number 8 size nibs on here, but Taccia do not at the moment they're not able to get them from Sailor. That may change. I don't know. I haven't got any other indication from Sailor if that will change, but a few people have mentioned to me that they are looking to get larger nibs. So I hope that that is the case, and I do hope that that will happen in the near future, because I really think this pen is crying out for a number 8 size nib. Putting a number 6 size nib on there, it just swallows the nib up a little bit in terms of the pen girth there. This next pen I have inked up is the lovely Urushi Studio India, and this is the Xiphos R, and it's in an Akatamanuri like deep red heat finish. So if I unscrew the cap here, you'll see it has a Yovo nib. It's a number 6 size nib, branded GM from GM Custom Pens, and it's a medium nib, and I've got a little bit of residue of ink on that section. It's an ebonite section, and I like this pen a lot. It's a cartridge converter. I think the work that Vivek at Urushi Studio India is doing is very good. This was actually a good price. A lot of his more recent pens have actually, I'd say, been doubling in price. Maybe not double, but almost double. But then they have a lot more work done on them. So I can understand the reason for the cost increase if you're going to be spending 2 or 3 times the amount of work making those pens. But this one was a really good price, so I was glad to pick that one up for the price that I did. So that's inked up, and then I also have this Pilot Custom Urushi in the Vermilion. So again, another Urushi pen, but this is made by Pilot. Pilot make these in 2 sizes. They do the Pilot Custom 845 in the Urushi Vermilion, and then they do this one, which is the Pilot Custom Urushi in the Vermilion. So the 845 is a much smaller pen. I would say probably similar to this size, but I like this larger size version. So this, I was really glad that I added to my collection. It has a number 8 size nib there, and it's a fine medium nib. It's just a beautiful sized nib with an ebonite feed. It's really, really good pen, and I love having that inked up and writing with that. I know a lot of people have asked if I will sell that pen. At the moment, no, but every pen is possibly a saleable pen, given time. So I do have a few people that are constantly asking me if I will sell that pen. So I have that pen inked up with me this week as well. So I think with that, let's go and do a writing sample. So the first pen is the TWSBI Vac 700R in the Iris. Now this I have just re-inked up, so this is probably going to be quite a wet writing nib until I get rid of the excess ink in the feed there. So it's quite saturated. So this is the TWSBI Vac 700R, and this is the Iris. It's a broad steel nib, and then the ink in here is diamine, ink vent, and it's fire embers, which is a little bit of a sort of a blend between a red and an orange ink. I'd say a little bit more of a fiery red ink perhaps, but that is a beautiful colour ink. The next pen is the Santini Libra in the Ambra. So we'll do an ink swatch. And I just want to have a look at this because this is quite a nice coloured ink. So this is the Santini, and it's the Libra in the I want to say a Laurel then, but it's not. It's in the Ambra, and it is a medium 18 cat gold nib, And then the ink in here is Diamine Ochre. And sometimes I find Diamine Ochre comes out really dark brown, like this is now. And sometimes I find it comes out really light brown, like an orangey brown. The next pen is the Visconti Wallstreet in red. So we will do an ink swatch. Now this is a double broad. Look at this. This is a massively wide writing nib. So it's the Visconti Wallstreet in the red. And it is a double broad. And this is a 23 carat palladium nib, and that is very, very broad. The ink in here today is Diamine, and it's ox blood. I do have to actually try and adjust my writing in these very broad nibs, because that it will just conceal all of the white space around the letters if I wrote my normal size. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Chatterley City. So we'll do an ink swatch. And you can see here that this is quite a wet writing nib. So this is the Visconti Chatterley City, and it is a medium 18 carat gold nib. And then the ink in here is a Waterman, and it's intense black, which is a really lovely black ink. One of my favourite black inks. The other favourite is Lamy Black. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Chatterley Southwest. So we'll do an ink swatch. And again, you can see this is quite a wet nib. So this is the Visconti Chatterley, and it's the Southwest. It's a medium 18 carat gold nib. The ink in here is Mont Blanc, Corn, Poppy, Red, which I have 5 bottles of, and I really like that ink. The next pen I have inked up today is the Sailor King of Pen Pro Gear Lucky Charm. So we'll do an ink swatch. Now this is a medium nib, so because it's an Asian nib, it writes more like a Western fine. And this is the Sailor. It's the King of Pen. I probably should have abbreviated that to KOP, because I think I'm going to run out of space already. Sailor King of Pen, and it's a Pro Gear Lucky Charm. Maybe I'll be okay. And it's a medium. It's a 21 carat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Diamine Marine, which I think matches the colour of this pen quite nicely. The next pen is the Sailor King of Pen Stormy Seas. So we'll do an ink swatch. And again, this is another medium Asian nib, so it writes more like a Western fine. So this is a Sailor, and it's the King of Pen, and it's a Stormy Seas. And it's a medium 21 cat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Diamine Aqua Blue, which again I think is a nice blue ink that sort of matches that pen. The next pen is the Taccia Myabi's Winter's Breath. So we'll do an ink swatch. And I've wanted to actually put these two pens, the inks side by side, just to see what these actually look like, the difference here. So this is a Taccia Myabi Winter's Breath, and it is a broad, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. I say broad, but it's an Asian board, so it's more of a Western medium. And then the ink in here is Pelican, Edelstein, Topaz. Now, these two inks are actually not that dissimilar. The Diamine Aqua Lagoon's a little bit more of a lighter blue than the Pelican, Edelstein, Topaz, but I think they're both a very good, like, cerulean blue. The next pen is the Urushi Studio India Xiphos R. We'll do an ink swatch. Now, this is a medium nib here. It's a Yovo steel nib. So this is the Urushi Studio India Xiphos R, and it's an Aka Tamanuri, and it's a medium and it's a steel nib. And then the ink in here is Diamine, and it's Poppy Red. And then the final pen here is a Pilot Custom Urushi in the Vermilion. So we'll do an ink swatch. And you can see this is quite a wet writing nib. But it's also a fine nib as well. So this is the Pilot Custom Urushi in the Vermilion, and it's a fine medium, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red. And a number of people have asked me what's the difference between Diamine Poppy Red and Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red. Hopefully you can see the difference here on camera. So I think with that, let's go through these pens inked up one more time. So we have a TWSBI Vac 700R Iris in a broad steel nib, inked up with Diamine Inkvent Fire Embers. We have a Santini Libra in the Ambra in a medium 18 cat gold nib, inked up with Diamine Ochre. We have a Visconti Wallstreet Red with a double broad 23 cat palladium nib, inked up with Diamine Oxblood. We have a Visconti Chatterley City in a medium 18 cat gold nib, inked up with Waterman Intense Black. We have a Visconti Chatterley Southwest in a medium 18 cat gold nib, inked up with Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red. We have a Sailor King of Pen, and this is the Pro Gear Lucky Charm in a medium 21 cat gold nib, inked up with Diamine Marine. We have a Sailor King of Pen Stormy Seas in a medium 21 cat gold nib, inked up with Diamine Aqua Blue. We have a Taccia Myabi Winter's Breath in a broad 18 cat gold nib, inked up with Pelican Edelstein Topaz. We have a Urushi Studio India Xiphos R in an Aka Tamanuri with a medium steel nib inked up with Diamine Poppy Red. And then we have a Pilot Custom Urushi Vermilion in a fine medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red. So there you have it. That's my currently inked pens for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.